Hey everyone. So admittedly, I want to lay all my cards on the table and saying I'm a little bit more mixed on this chapter than last week, but it's not for the reasons you think. For me, where I'm really mixed in this chapter is the first chunk is an example of how repetition is both a strength and a weakness for this arc. Because while I liked the overall discussion between Witch and Rebecca about the former's death, and in general getting to connect with Witch again, I wasn't really a big fan of repeating those familiar comedic beats of the bath incident and even the joke about the torture therapy. Like I pretty much get I get why they were there. In fact, like the bath incident for as fan service as that was, that definitely served the purpose of reintroducing Rebecca's power. But it's also one of those things where I get. Like I get the whole thing of the interactions with Witch in this chapter are part of Witch's character being wise yet a little socially awkward, but I just feel Mashima could have adopted a slightly more serious tone given the emotional weight that comes with reuniting with Witch rather than repeating the same scenario, which again is there but not to the degree I would have liked. And the funny thing is, the preceding events on Norma in terms of reuniting with Weiss regaining his memories and realizing he's reunited with his mother, that's more or less what I wanted out of the Witch segment of the chapter. But in place of that, we just got a little bit of like emotional heavy stuff and a lot of the comedic bits that we've already seen. Like I wanted that whole reunion to just take a bit of a different direction, honestly. But again, it is what it is, and the thing is, I wasn't expecting it to and the thing is, I wasn't like expecting like the Witch stuff to like repeat beat for beat what happened with the stuff on Norma, but just having, I think just having that emotional context of having a real heart-to-heart conversation with Witch about her death, I think it would have helped. I think it would have helped a little bit for me, and maybe Mashima does have plans for like a conversation like that in the future, but it does feel like a wasted opportunity not having it here as well. Like I don't know, it's the one time where the whole comedy of it didn't entirely work for me. Now, with that said, yeah, let's talk about Weiss's mother, because again, the way the whole thing played out was very beautiful. Like just giving Weiss this one chance to properly reunite with his mother, it feels like the kind of thing where even though Weiss technically got closure by getting to bury her after the conflict with Ziggy, just having this one moment, I feel, really puts a nice bow on the development we've gotten up to this point with his character. Now, obvious question is, could she possibly be saved, or more to the point, do I want her to be saved? And that's a tough one, because while I definitely would like to see an attempt made to save her, I also do think there needs to be a bit more. I think that there needs to be a weighted balance in terms of the lives we save versus the ones we can't. And as much as I'd like Weiss to get a happy ending with his mother by the time this is over, I do think her death does need to be an unavoidable almost. Now, granted, for me, all this, mind you, is me operating on the assumption that Drac and Joe is still very much as much of a problem in this world as he was in the previous one. But even then, if Mashima does still plan to kill Weiss's mother, then going alongside what I was talking about with the last chapter, I wouldn't mind if she died if we end up saving her, I guess technically, just for stopping Drac and Joe before he kills her, and before he kills her through his like life suction device. But ultimately, even then, she still kind of dies by natural causes. I don't know, like I would still kind of like her to die, if I'm being honest, in either scenario. Especially, I would honestly really like the route of her dying by natural causes, because as it would not only add to the idea of being the final world where events play out differently, but also just the idea that there are some things we can't control or we can't change. Like I feel like her death at best needs to be that. Like that maybe Weiss's mother is one of the fates that can't be changed. Hopefully, and again, I know it sounds hypocritical considering I want to. I know it sounds weird considering as I always say I want Witch to survive, but I feel there just needs to be some kind of balance. Maybe one life gets saved while the other dies. I don't know. Having said all that, though, alongside Weiss and his mom, we also do get reintroduced to Pino, and along with her return, Pino also regains her memories, which right out of the gate completely debunks my theory about machines not regaining their memories, but this also just opens up the question of why Witch didn't regain her memories. Like, I assume it's got something to do with the fact that she pretty much died in our world, but just the fact that this is possible tells me there is possibly there might potentially be a point where she does regain her memories, and it's just a matter of when that is. I'm also curious how Pino regaining her memories will come back into play in terms of this arc specifically, because we've kind of with Ziggy, it's with the whole situation with Ziggy where he isn't likely to be an issue. That only leaves whatever evil force was controlling Eden's One, and at risk of overthinking the memory mechanics at play, I'll be interested in seeing how she utilizes the overdrive abilities Ziggy gave Pino, which was originally meant to stop him, and how she uses that same ability to stop, I suppose, whatever pretty much evil force it was that was controlling the Eden's One, and what kind of evil force that actually is. But even more so, I hope we'll also start to see how Shiki's gained knowledge of mechanics will play into this as well, because I feel this is going to be a situation where both will be needed, at least in order to stop whatever they need to change. With all that being said, let's talk about where things go from here and who they'll reunite with next, because Shiki says that Sister and Homura are next on the list to find. And that in itself just begs the question of, when we do get reintroduced to Homura, is Mashima going to just play it straight with nothing having changed? Or much like bringing in Weiss's mother, is he going to throw the curveball of Valkyrie being alive? That's the million-dollar question that needs answering in this situation, because I'm not going to lie, I'd like to see all four of the original Starshines reunited to fight together, and with the next chapter seemingly focusing on reuniting with Sister and Homura, the possibility, the concept is there. It's just a matter of whether Mashima takes advantage of said concept or not. And yeah, I'm again really hoping he does, because the idea and the idea is there, and I want to see what he can do with it. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. Enjoy the video, like, comment, subscribe. On my Twitter, Analyst Crunchyroll, push your notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and just share it around, guys. Dark Knight of a Night signing off. Later, everyone.